Hi guys, it's Kylie James here. I'm a certified nutritionist and director and owner at Koru Nutrition. So thanks for joining me today, whether it be on Zoom or live on Facebook. So today I've been doing a series of webinars, short webinars on supporting the immune system and how to deal with extra weight that we're all putting on from being locked down. So today we're going to do a short one on just an additional 5 other ways to support your immune system. So let's get started. So number one, reducing sugar consumption. And this might be quite hard right now because I know a hot commodity at the grocery store is flour, because everyone's doing a ton of baking now, whether it be to ease boredom or just to have some comfort food. But the problem with baking and consuming sugar can be detrimental on the immune system. So the research shows that sugar can suppress the immune system for up to 5 hours after ingestion. So if you're someone that's having a little bit of sugar or something sweet at breakfast and maybe as a snack and then after lunch, then your immune system is constantly operating at a disadvantage. Now, what the research shows that consuming complex carbs and starches, so this is like your fruits, your vegetables, your whole grains, your sweet potatoes, has no effect on the immune system. So you can consume those, but it's definitely those refined carbohydrates and the sugar that has a detrimental effect. So one of the other reasons, not only does it depress the immune system, but it also triggers low-grade inflammation. And inflammation is also an immune suppressant. So again, another reason why we need to cut the sugars down. Another reason is that sugar has a very similar chemical structure to vitamin C. And I did a talk on vitamin C a couple of weeks ago. So they have very chemical structures. They actually compete for absorption. So we talked about vitamin C being really important for the immune system. And one of the reasons being is that it's an antioxidant. So it really helps to neutralize free radicals. So when you're consuming sugar and vitamin C together, then your vitamin C is needed to neutralize those free radicals. So it takes it away from doing those immune boosting, supporting the immune system and helping to boost the immune system. So another factor with regards to sugar and our immune system, in particular to COVID, is that Nate Favino, the medical lead at Forward, reported that obviously there's not a lot of things that we know about COVID, but what we do know is that people with diabetes tend to be common people that are confirmed with COVID-19. So what he suggests that higher levels of blood sugars could make it easier to contract COVID-19. So again, a lot of reasons why we need to reduce our sugar, and I'm sure a lot of us are consuming a lot more at the moment. So another one, sorry to be a party pooper, guys, is reducing alcohol consumption, which I know probably a lot of us are doing. I know I am. And the problem is alcohol has a number of issues in regards to depressing our immune system. So the Cleveland Clinic reported that if you drink every day or almost every day, it can actually weaken your immune system and make the body more susceptible to infections such as colds, flu, or other illnesses. And another factor is that alcohol actually alters the makeup of our gut microbiome. And there's a ton of research coming out now about the gut microbiome and all the multiple roles that it actually has in the body. It's been shown to impact on our behaviors, on our cognitive functioning, on our motivation levels, on our mood. There's actually really interesting research to show that the gut microbiome can actually determine whether a medication is going to be effective for you or not, or whether you're going to have side effects from that medication. But the other really important role for the gut microbiome is that it supports our immune system. So drinking alcohol may also damage our immune cells that line our intestinal wall. And it's really important because this is our first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. So when you think of our gut, it's like an open system from our mouth to our anus. So that's why it is so much more susceptible to pathogens coming into our bodies, whether it be yeast, candida, bacteria, viruses, fungi, etc. So by damaging these cells in your intestines, it can make it easier for pathogens to cross into your bloodstream. So excessive drinking reduces the number and function of three important kinds of cells in your immune system. That's your macrophages, your T cells, and your B cells. So macrophages are our first line of defense against disease. So they basically go around and gobble up anything that's not supposed to be there, including cancer cells. And they are the sort of like sound the alarm when pathogens are present. So T cells are important. They are antibodies for specific pathogens, and this is one of the issues with the novel coronavirus. Our bodies haven't been exposed to it before, so therefore they've not created the T cell antibodies for us to address it. B cells are white blood cells that secrete cytokines, and they can actually help to attack bacteria. So when B and T cells are suppressed, your immune system is less efficient at identifying and destroying those invading pathogens. So really there's a number of factors on how alcohol can inhibit our immune system. So really important that we try and start reducing that. Another big one is avoiding stress. And again, this is a tough time. A lot of us are working from home as well as trying to homeschool our kids, or we have the other problem where we're out of work and trying to figure out how we're going to make that next rent payment or mortgage payment. So stress in short bursts, our body creates adrenaline and cortisol. And cortisol is actually important in those short bursts of stress. It can actually boost our immunity by limiting inflammation. But if we have chronic stress, so prolonged stress over a period of time, your body can produce too much cortisol, and this actually opens the door to more inflammation. And this can weaken our immune system, leaving us more vulnerable to viral infections and frequent illnesses. In addition, stress decreases the body's lymphocytes and the white blood cells. These are the white blood cells that actually help to fight off infection. So the lower your lymphocyte cells, the lower your lymphocyte levels, the more at risk you are of getting sick with viruses and bacterial infections. And some experts actually claim that stress is responsible for as much as 90% of all our illnesses and diseases. So really important to try and implement stress management strategies. So whether that is meditation, taking a relaxing bath, and putting Epsom salts in your bath. Epsom salts is high in magnesium and it gets easily absorbed into your skin. Magnesium is a natural muscle relaxant and nervous system relaxant. So great for pain, but really good to help calm you down if you're stressed out. So it's great to do before bed to have a good night's sleep. Maybe it's listening to music, going for a walk or a light run, reading a book, or just finding some kind of quiet time for yourself. So the next thing is getting a good night's sleep. And obviously all the factors that I talked about before with having high sugar, alcohol, stress, that's all going to impact sleep. Sometimes we think, okay, maybe having a glass of wine at night is going to help us to get to sleep. But when alcohol is broken down in our body during the night, it actually releases sugars. So sometimes that can actually impact and interfere with our sleep. So the Mayo Clinic reported that studies show that people who don't get quality sleep or enough sleep are more likely to get sick after being exposed to a virus. So lack of sleep can also affect how fast you recover if you do get sick. So during sleep, your immune system actually releases proteins called cytokines. So some of these cytokines can actually help promote sleep. Certain cytokines need to increase when you have an infection or inflammation or when you're under stress, but sleep deprivation may decrease production of those protective cytokines. And definitely when you go to sleep at night, that's when your body is going into recovery mode, repair mode. It's doing all those sort of functions to help get you ready for the next day. It helps to balance out hormones. So there's a lot of things going on when you're sleeping. When you work out during the day, lifting weights, you're breaking down your muscle tissue. It's only when you go to sleep at night is that your muscles are repairing and building up and getting bigger, and that's where you're getting your full benefits from your workouts. So sleep is super important. Infection-fighting antibodies and cells are reduced during periods when you don't get enough sleep. So how much sleep should you be getting? So adults need about 7.5 to 9 hours. Teenagers need about 9 to 10 hours, and school-aged children may need 10 hours or more. So really focus on that sleep hygiene, sleep routine. Again, doing something relaxing before bed. Try not to have watching TV or your computer or phone, because the light from the screen is going to actually interfere with your melatonin production. And again, avoiding a bunch of sugars before bed, because that is going to wake you up and impact on you getting to sleep. So number 5, getting enough fruits and vegetables in your diet and getting enough variety. So our immune system relies on a number of nutrients to help it function properly and work at its optimal level. So key nutrients include vitamin C, iron, vitamin D, folate, vitamin A, selenium, and zinc. So Health Canada has specific recommendations for fruit and vegetable intake. So children under 11 should be consuming approximately 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Children between 12 to 13 is 6 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Females between 14 to 50 years is 7 servings, and males 14 to 50 years is 8 servings. Now, this is the minimum requirement, so people should actually be consuming even more than that, especially if they've got compromised immune systems right now. Like I said, if they're under stress, consuming a lot of sugar, and things like that. Now, unfortunately, Canadian Community Health Survey indicates that a lot of people aren't getting that daily basic recommended amount. So 70% of children aged 4 to 8 years are not meeting that minimum requirement, and 65% of children aged 9 to 13 years are not getting that minimum requirement of fruits and vegetables. So it's a simple thing to do, is like really getting those fruits and vegetables into our diet, and there's a number of ways that we can do it. So I mentioned before, unfortunately, with high stress, poor sleep, disease and illness, our body's demands for nutrients become higher. And because those fruits and vegetables are so high in nutrients, we really need them. But a lot of us are now with compromised diets, like the standard American diet, which is abbreviated for SAD, and that's just what it is. It's a SAD diet. It's high in processed foods, pizzas, frozen dinners, a lot of sugar-laden foods and beverages. And because they're consuming those foods, it's definitely limits the opportunities to consume those fruits and vegetables in the amounts that they need. So with these kind of dietary habits, it puts us at greater risk of nutrient deficiencies, and subsequently it compromises our immune system, which impacts our ability to help protect ourselves against viruses and infections. So some strategies that we can do, smoothies are great in the morning. It's amazing what you can hide in fruits and vegetables. I remember I had one client and I said, look, put spinach in your smoothies. He's like, there's no way I'm going to put that crap into my smoothies. But then he asked his mum to do it, and his mum said, look, I've been putting spinach in your smoothies for the last month and you haven't noticed. So it's amazing what you can hide in fruits and vegetables that you can't taste and don't notice. Avocados are great. They're high in B vitamins and good omega-3s. Even putting herbs in. Herbs are so nutrient dense. Mint is great, maybe with mint with a bit of lime, and spinach is a great refreshing smoothie. Picking up vegetable trays from the grocery store, or preparing cut up vegetables and putting it in the fridge again, so it's a quick snack, easy grab snack. So cutting up broccoli and cauliflower, peppers, having cherry tomatoes, all those sort of vegetables are great, and they can last them in the fridge for a long time. Getting your children to grow fruits and vegetables and herbs is also great. Like, I live in the city and raccoons are a problem, so I do have a herb garden, but I don't really have the opportunity to grow fruits and vegetables. I do have a tower garden, which I just want to show you. I have this, and they're available in North America. And we're growing basil and kale and Swiss chard and lettuce. And my 4-year-old comes and just picks them straight from the tower garden and eats them. And he never eats salad until we started doing the tower garden. So a great way to get your kids involved and encourage them to eat foods that maybe they wouldn't necessarily in the past. And you want to really try and make your dinner plate half vegetables. So here's an example of your healthy plate where you've got some vegetables, some salads, lots of different colors to get that broad spectrum of antioxidants. And you can also hide fruits and vegetables in baking goods. So zucchini loaf, making carrot muffins. There's some amazing recipes out there where you can hide a whole bunch of nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables, and even lentils and beans in sort of baked goods. And also just making sure that you have your fruit bowl out on the dining room table. So again, it's an opportunity to grab a banana or an apple when you're walking past, just to get that quick grab and go snack. So you don't need to do a lot of preparation.